Hi everyone. In this video, I'll be walking through the solution-focused brief counseling approach using my own personal issue, learning to set healthy boundaries. I use the resources from our module as a guide, and I'll describe how I work through each step of the process. To start, my issue initially felt broad and hard to define. I would often say, I can't set boundaries. Using the video talk technique from Murphy, I recorded myself describing what that looked like in my daily life. Watching myself talk it through helped me realize that the real challenge comes when I feel overcommitted, especially at work. I tend to say yes to extra tasks from colleagues or administrators, even when I'm already stretched too thin. Through reflection, I reframed my problem into a specific, solvable goal. I want to say no respectfully when I feel overcommitted and still maintain good relationships. This version of my goal is measurable because I'll be able to see the results of saying no in real time. Next, I looked at the environmental factors related to this issue, the who, what, and where. For me, the problem mainly occurs at work whenever I'm asked to take on more responsibilities, and it usually involves my colleagues and administrators. Recognizing these details helps me anticipate when I might struggle and prepare for those moments. This issue is personally significant to me because it directly affects my mental and emotional well-being. I really want to be able to say no without fearing the repercussions of doing so. Being able to set boundaries respectfully will allow me to protect my mental health, reduce stress, and maintain valued relationships. When I achieve this goal, I expect to experience more free time, less emotional exhaustion, and stronger, more balanced professional connections. I also took some time to reflect on previous attempts to set boundaries. I asked myself questions like, when have I tried to say no before? And what happened when I did? In the past, I often avoided saying no altogether, which led to burnout and frustration. However, there were a few times when I did say no politely, and surprisingly, people responded well. That experience showed me that change is possible if I approach the situation calmly and respectfully. This issue has had several effects on my life. Personally, I've experienced mental burnout and exhaustion. Professionally, I've noticed task avoidance and decreased productivity due to feeling overwhelmed. Socially, I sometimes withdraw from my coworkers because I'm afraid of being asked to take on more work. These impacts have made me realize just how important it is to address the problem and make meaningful changes. To explore my progress, I used the scaling technique, a core part of the SFBC approach. I rated myself on a scale from 0 to 10, where 0 means I never set boundaries, and 10 means I confidently and respectfully say no whenever necessary. Right now, I would rate myself at a 4. That tells me I've made some progress, but I still have room to grow. I then asked myself, what would it take to move from a 4 to a 5? My answer was simple. If I can practice saying no once next week in a respectful way, that would be a small, meaningful step forward. From this, I developed 2 small, realistic goals. First, I will practice saying no once a week in a respectful, calm tone. Second, I will set aside 10 minutes each day to check in with myself about my stress level and workload. These goals are manageable because they're actions I can control and measure. To monitor my progress, I plan to journal briefly after each situation where I set a boundary, noting how I felt, how others reacted, and what I learned from the experience. As I work toward these goals, I have also identified resources that can support me. I can look to a trusted colleague who models good boundary setting, use mindfulness and stress management techniques, and continue using video talk recordings to reflect on my growth and hold myself accountable. If I imagined the miracle happening overnight, that I wake up tomorrow already able to set boundaries easily, I would notice that I feel calm when someone asks for help. I would be able to say something like, I appreciate you thinking of me, but I'm at capacity right now, without guilt or fear. I'd still feel respected, and I'd go home with more energy and peace of mind. Through the SFBC approach, I've learned that even small, specific actions can lead to significant changes. By clearly defining my issues, understanding my environment, reflecting on past efforts, and setting realistic, self-manageable goals, I now have a clear plan for moving forward. My next step is simple, to move from a 4 to a 5 on my scale by practicing one respectful no this week. This small step will help me protect my mental health while maintaining positive, supportive relationships. Thank you for watching.